Whoa! Here's the black Grinch that will steal your Black Friday. Do you really want to go out on a Black Friday? Do you really want to stand in long lines for people who only go out 1 or 2 times a year to buy stuff? Do you want to just drive on the freeway, like be on a, I used to go to Macy's. You want to be on the 605 freeway, the 210 freeway, stuck in traffic with a bunch of people that want to go for a Black Friday sale to get something that's originally $20, but you get like a $10 mail-in rebate? Do you want to do that for like a grill or for like a mixer? Or do you want to go get in super early for Home Depot to get a bucket to carry around so you could get an extra 15 to 20% off your items? Is that what you want to do on a November 26th after Thanksgiving? I don't want you to do that, man. And then you're going to end up spending more money than you want to spend. They're going to convince you. You're going to run it to somebody like me, and I'm going to convince you, hey, get a credit card. But I assume you can pay it off, but I don't realize that the other two cards in your pocket are maxed out. So if I knew that, I would say, no, maybe you should not get a credit card. And I'm just saying, don't go out Black Friday, man. If you're going to do anything, take 20%. Okay, take $20, give it to a charity. Why don't you put it in a Salvation Army bucket, give it to some nice cause, and put 80% up for yourself. Instead of going out and spending money for a Black Friday, why don't you put money away for a black swan that'll happen to you? Hey, listen, look at what happened to me. I had sold my house. I thought I would do the homeless thing for a while. I was living in like my home. I lived in a rest area for 1 week, then did like Motel 6. I did the Best Western. Then I finally decided, hey, I'm going to get a place to live. So I did all the paperwork, moved into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. I was 3 bathrooms. And I was spending 2,000 something a month. And what did I get for my money? As soon as I moved in, this lady had these 2 little small white dogs. I don't know if they're racist or not. Let's not go there. They're like, so they're always barking. Then I had a dog next to me that was in the condo complex was separated from other houses they built that were next to the railroad track. Don't get me started. So I had a barking dog over there. He got upset when they put him out to use the restroom. He would bark until the owners let him back in. And to make even matters worse, I had a dog across at another complex that I'm sure they were selling because they never did anything with the dog. So sometimes when you have an apartment, when you want to keep maximum occupancy so you can get more, you just like, hey, I'll just let the new owner deal with the issue. So they never took care of that dog. And I was calling code enforcement and stuff. And then for the cheery up, the Echaristone. I had the neighbor next door who was a gamer or something. So they used to play games at night. So I was there for a year. Now, if I had went out and spent money for Black Friday, I wouldn't have had any money because I needed to have at least $500 for security deposit to move into a new place. It took me a year, but I got enough money and I moved into a better place. But that would not have happened if I had spent money that December for Black Friday or for Christmas for that matter. If I had went out and spent $200, $300, $400 for like some crap thinking, hey, look at all the good stuff I got on a Black Friday sale. But you know what? There's Amazon now. In my day, here come the old man rant. In my day, there was no Amazon. So there was a time that you could actually get deals now. But ever since the July 2008 recession now, you can get stuff anywhere now. Because what happened was, after July 2008, that's when the world fell apart. People couldn't get credit. You had massive layoffs. But retail was dying, so you could get that. If you want a good Black Friday, you should have around 2008, 2010. You probably could have got you a house for $100 or $150. Now that was a real Black Friday. That 2008, 2010 recession. That's you get some big Black Friday stuff there. People are getting laid off. houses going in foreclosures, places going out of business. Now that's when you talk about Black Friday. But now, I mean, since that day, everything has been on sale in America, man. You can probably you can get a dog, you can get the house. It's like everything's on sale now. But I want you to do is like don't go out for Black Friday, man. Don't go out for Black Friday. Just I want you to instead do like me. Hey, let's do this. Let's put away $100 to $200 so we can go and look at it beginning of January 2020. Like what? Hey, let's have that backup money in case something happens. Hey, do you want to spend all your money for Black Friday and Christmas and then realize, hey, I need a new pair of tires. I need some tires. For example, let's use the tires. Today I saw one car with a flat. I had a car in a fast lane. You saw they had like the used tires. It was one of those Chrysler 300 cars. I mean, I see people with Audis and BMWs riding on the rims of the cars. I'm like, no, that donut is not a real tire. That donut is to get you to somewhere where hopefully at the minimum you can get you a used tire. So I see all that stuff. So I don't want that to happen to you, man. So this Black Friday, let the Black Grinch save you. My goal, if you just listen to what I'm telling you, I bet you can save $55 to $105 just this week, man. Just don't go out for the Black Friday. Just pretend in your mind you're going out for the Black Fridays, but pretend, hey, that car needs a new tire. So instead of putting it on a credit card where you're paying 15 to 20%, why don't you just say, hey, you know what, honey, let's run this over to like the Firestone Goodyear Tire. Minimum $15 plug, or if not, hey, we can spend $100 for a tire. Pay for the tire, laugh about it, go to Starbucks, and still have a little money left over because Martin convinced us to put away $115 to $215 to $225 to $239. He said, let's put this away for Black Friday and for Christmas, and we'll open up our our emergency account and see, hey, there's some cash there and we don't have to use a credit card. Do you know the savings amount now is basically zero? It's so sad. During my old days, the interest rate used to be like 2%, 5%. I mean, it was always up to 7%. And now it's just basically like 0%. So, and then the credit card companies are charging, like a minimum 15% interest if you can have good credit with a credit union. I got myself an American Express card, so the interest was 18%. Now, if you're talking about bad credit, you're looking at almost 20% interest. So, for example, if I spend like $1.05, 20% interest I'd owe $1.30. I mean, that's that's what happens if you don't pay it off. But most people don't pay off their cards. And as you know, like I told you, 76% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. You know what a Black Friday is? A Black Friday is when you're living paycheck to paycheck. I've been there, man. Remember how I told you back in the 2008, 2010 recession? I lost 2 duplexes. I was in court with my grandmother for probate, and I was starving, man. I had to make $20 last a week, and I got fired from my job when I thought I was going to do a receiving. Here I am, an engineer, MBA. Martin, you're fired. Like, no! What got me through was I had a little bit of money saved up. I think I had like enough, $7 or $8 to get my shirt dry cleaned, and $5 to ask to get me to Macy's in Santa Anita. And luckily I got the job where it turned out better than being in receiving. So I got a job and I worked as a cashier for like a long time until this year, until I started calling them up. And then Amazon, I guess, has impacted retail. So like they were like asking me all kind of questions. How late can you work? How late can you work? It's like, what do you want me to do? Just tell me, what are you trying to say? I guess what they thought, they would get a lot of orders, so they wanted people just do like picking. But you know how I feel about picking, and you know how I feel about fulfillment centers. Remember my story, Martin and Calvin working in a 40,000 square foot warehouse in Gardena, California, Petavina Mode and Die. And Calvin and I ourselves ran 10,000 sonic alarms. We actually put together. I ran a machine where you actually had to produce stuff in America, not just sell. I used to produce. So when they told me, "Oh, we just want you to do warehouse stuff," I said, "I don't think so." And they made it so complicated. But luckily, what saved me, well, I got it. Other than taking that job, I took another job where I worked like the Breeders' Cup in Santa Anita, and I made $700 in a check, and I made an extra like $400 to $500 in tips. That's basically as much as I made at Macy's last year. With the way they cut their hours, sometimes sent you home early, and just to deal with the stress of just not having the proper equipment to do the proper job. But I'm kind of getting off subject. But what I did do during those Christmas times, instead of going out and spending money, I made money. And that's why I'm saying don't go out for Black Friday, man. I've seen the specials. I mean, there's no money to. You're not gonna get a deal, man. Because like I told you, if you look at some of my previous videos, I think 2020 we may have a recession coming. As soon as all this impeachment stuff is over, like I told you, I think all the fulfillment centers are overbooked. I told you how I saw all the trucks lined up, taking all the equipment, taking merchandise to apartments and warehouses and places even before Black Friday. So they want to, like I told you, they do that because as soon as they get their materials to the distributor, then they let the distributor handle the storage, but they at least start their 30 to 90-day cycle because they remember during the last recession, that's how a lot of trucking companies went out of business. Number one was the diesel was so high, they underestimated their profit margin. And number two, the companies they actually delivered the products to went out of business. So I want you to think, hey, something bad's probably going to happen in 2020. Once all the recession is over and once all these companies look and see, hey, we have like 20 to 30% more people working in the fulfillment/warehouse. And we looked at Martin Moore's video and him and Calvin did that much production without having goggles or vest or a line on the ground. Uh, we may have to let some people go. And if you're one of those people that get let go, I want you to have a little extra money to help get you, a little padding to help you get you to your next job. Because then we'll talk about how Grant Cardone has helped me improve my sales skills. That's the only thing that's going to get you through the next recession is sales. Mr. Roboto is probably going to take a lot of those fulfillment/jobs when they can figure it out. Even if they don't need all the people that they have. So like I say, this is the Black Grinch that stole that's stealing your Black Friday. Do not go out this Friday. Save $105 to $110 this Friday. That's how much you can save. You don't go out, don't get caught in the traffic, don't get caught in a flat because someone dropped some crap on the road. Remember, stay home this Black Friday.